My name is Igal Jusidman. I am a Mexican living in Sweden, working in Israel, where I'm the CEO of Keren Daniel. I started my philanthropic journey about 10 years ago when my father invited me to form a foundation in order to develop a more strategic way for his giving. That up until then it was mainly in brick and mortar programs. Brick and mortar programs are relatively easy to follow up from abroad. We identified and evaluated the Amuta, the NGO. We evaluated the need. There's a clear beginning, a clear end, and a big physical result, a great opportunity for a big naming. But now we wanted to do something more strategic, something that would have more impact on the ground. So how do we develop a more strategic approach to philanthropy when I know almost nothing about philanthropy? Google. So pretty fast we landed in Jewish Founders Network. With JFN first we did a workshop where we talked about our values, our areas of interest, and the kind of change we want to see in the future. So we decided that we wanted to fund education as a way to reduce socioeconomic gaps in Israel. The next step was a trip to Israel, where we did a trip with Maya Nathan from the Israel office of JFN. Actually, we were, I think, one of the first clients of the advisory services of JFN. So we did this very intense week with Maya, 6 to 8 meetings a day, meeting other philanthropists, foundation managers, directors of Amutot, of NGOs, and even some politicians. After this week, I was able to form my first image of what was happening in the education system in Israel at that moment. I also learned that I knew pretty little about philanthropy and even less about education. So, given our inexperience, we decided not to start new programs at that moment, but better join programs that we deem successful and help them to grow in new geographical areas. So one of our first grants was to the Shalom Hardman Institute for a program called Be'eri that teaches value-based Jewish education in secular schools in Israel. Part of the grant would go to grow the program to Beersheba and to Natzeret Illit. And another part of the program would go to re-edit a textbook for 9th grade of Tarbut Israelit Yehudit, Jewish Israeli culture. So I'm talking with Daniel Lazar, the director of the program, about how Keren Daniel will be acknowledged in this book. On which page, the logo and this, I'm thinking something of we are grateful to, in support of, with the support of. And Danny tells me, how about in partnership with? And boom, ¿no? Ahí me cayó el 20, the asimón fell. I understood suddenly that I'm not here to give grants and walk away for others to do the work. I am here to pull my resources together with other organizations in order to forward a common vision. I felt a sense of ownership, but not like a sole owner, more like belonging to a group or a movement that has a common objective, I really felt a sense of belonging. So for the last 10 years, my philanthropy has been about partnerships. Partnerships with professional NGOs, partnerships with government, being local or national, and partnerships with the funders like you. Through partnerships, I've built a network of people and organizations that all support the goal of Keren Daniel. But this doesn't mean that all this network works for Keren Daniel. Actually, I work for the network. Thank you.